This is the Fairy Tale Tarot by one of my favorite creators, Lisa Hunt. She's done some remarkable work over the years, and she doesn't disappoint us in this deck. Okay, I'm going to read the back of the box here. Fairy Tale Tarot. When we hear the words once upon a time, we're magically transported to a faraway land of enchantment, a timeless realm of wondrous fantasies and infinite possibilities. Preventing mystical tales from around the world, Fairy Tale Tarot invites you to embrace the universal wisdom shared by enduring characters and timeless archetypes. Their struggles, successes, and growth mirror our own experiences and teach us profound life lessons. When we see ourselves in the cards, we establish greater awareness of ourselves. Say U.S. Games production, good old U.S. Games. Does come with a nice guidebook. I'm going to show you some of the pages in the guidebook. The print is a little bit small for my aging eyes, so I can't really read it, but I can show you the pages here. Transformation is a death card. And she does get into quite a bit of detail within each individual card. So that's a nice guidebook here. I think you should definitely read the guidebook if you get the deck. Okay. Decent cardstock, U.S. Games cardstock. This is a standard tarot size card here. Here's the back of the card. Very nice back. Couple of keys there. Old brass keys. Pretty cool. Well, I'm going to begin. Our first card is Innocence. In lieu of a fool, we have Innocence. And as you can see, we have a big bad wolf behind the little girl with a basket. So instead of a dog, we have a wolf. But he doesn't appear to be chasing after her. I think he's just assisting her on her voyage, I believe. Interesting fool card. Okay, then we have the Magician. Have a young person there opening up the box, and this light is emanating from the box. It almost reminds me of that Pulp Fiction scene when Vincent opens up the briefcase and that eerie green light comes out of it, but we never know what it is. It's just a mystery. Okay, so that's our Magician. And here's the Sorceress. Instead of a High Priestess, we have a Sorceress. You won't really find that many fairies in this deck. There's supernatural elements to it, but not exactly fairies. You might see a couple of fairies, I think. I can't quite remember, but there's not a lot of fairies. Okay, the fairy godmother. Well, just made a liar of me there. That's a fairy godmother. Instead of an empress, we have a fairy godmother. And the emperor is now the wise old man. And in lieu of a Hierophant, we have the mentor. I love that. It's a cat. Very nice cat there. And here's our Lover's card. Here's the Chariot. Wow, check that out. We have a flying horse with two people on it. I have a very small medieval village down below. I'm noticing this for the first time on the card. I don't know what that is. It almost looks like some type of spiritual entity. I could be wrong. Okay, then we have courage. Instead of strength, we have courage. Have a large person, I guess. And there's a very small person he's reaching out for. Right at the bottom there. That's kind of an odd strength card. Oh, I think this person might be controlling the giant there or something. Maybe that's the purpose of that strength card. Okay, the Hermit. Okay, and here's the Wheel. Okay, I guess the Wheel involves the semicircle people, and there's an old castle there on the top of a mountaintop there. That's an interesting wheel card nonetheless. And here we have Justice at number 11. Justice here. Well, a stone architecture in this deck. Look at the, I guess there's white geese. They could be swans. I'm not sure. Anyways, there's a lady there and under a old stone castle, I guess. Well, here's another example of stone architecture. Entrapment. Instead of the hanged man, we have entrapment. Yes, she's a prisoner of sorts. There's a small owl in those branches there. Okay, instead of death, we have transformation, which is actually what death is. Death is transformation, in our case, from the physical into the spiritual. That's transformation. And here is temperance. Oh, I like those water lilies in the foreground there. That's temperance. Here's temptation. Instead of the devil, we have temptation. The rough equivalent of the devil is temptation. And here is deception. Instead of a tower, we have deception. And here's our star card. Well, I guess the luminous object there at the top is evidently a star, I guess. Okay. And here is the moon, and we have a lady resting at night, and there's the moon visible outside our window. And here's the sun, another kind of subdued sun card here. We have evidently a rising sun. It's the sun. Instead of judgment, we have redemption. Okay, that's a white swan there. I'm looking at the detail in the back. I'm trying to figure out what is going on, but can't quite discern exactly what it is. And instead of a world card, we have happily ever after. Instead of a wreath, we do have, on the outside here, we do have a type of vines or something in lieu of a wreath. Love that castle on that mountaintop. Okay, moving on to wands. This is the ace. I have a fox here. Okay, that's the ace. Here is the two of wands. And here's the three. Here's the four of wands. Looks like Jack and the Beanstalk to me. Yep, I think that's what it is. The four of wands. Okay. Here's the five. Here's the six of wands. And here's the seven. Here's the eight. Little bunny down here, and I don't know what that is over there. Maybe a cat. Hey, here's the nine of wands. It's like a little steampunk Victorian airship or something. I could be wrong. That's our nine of wands. And here's the 10. Here's our princess. Instead of a page, we have a princess of wands. She's riding a goat. Wow. That poor goat. He doesn't look like he's very big. Hope we can support her. Okay, here is our prince of wands instead of a knight. Have a gorgeous cat here. He's trying to decide which mouse he wants to chase the fastest. He's got a lot of options there. I wish him luck. Here's the Queen of Wands, another beautiful cat. And here's the 10 of Wands. Have a figure here with a lantern. This is some type of entity. I can see his face right there. Almost looks like a genie. Oh, okay. Maybe he is a genie. I think that's a genie in the bottle. He must be Aladdin. Okay, I got it. That's the genie in Aladdin, I guess. Here's our Ace of Cups. We have a serpent here watching over a lady lying in bed. It's a very odd scenario going on. But this deck is about supernatural things. Here's the Two of Cups. We have a little girl here, and she's making friends with a fawn. It's really interesting. People in rural areas, like they adopt fawns, you know, they come around, they feed them every day. Or people have possums as pets. They take a baby possum and they raise them like a cat. And they're very, very loving creatures. They also are like kangaroo. They carry their babies around in a pouch. So, interesting rural life, I guess. Okay, the Three of Cups. Now, one person down here, one person standing up. Usually you see three figures on the Three of Cups, but not there. Here's a warm environment here for the Four of Cups. Another serpent coming out of the water. Okay. And here's our Five of Cups. Okay. Here's the Six. Like a figure here above the old man in bed. I don't know if he's transitioning or what, but there they are. Here's our Seven of Cups. A dragon there. The guy walking towards the dragon. Maybe he's a peaceful dragon. We don't know. Here's the Eight of Cups. Old castle there, I guess. It's the Eight of Cups. Here's the Nine of Cups. Okay. And here's the Ten of Cups. A lot of serpents in this deck. I don't know why, but... Or are they mermaids? Excuse me. I think they might be mermaids. Yep. Okay. Here's the Princess of Cups. I believe that's water they're in. Very artfully displayed. Here's the Prince of Cups. A lot of water in the cups because the cups is a water suit. It's also a heart suit, a love suit. Certainly represents a lot of water. Okay, this is the Queen of Cups. And here's the King of Cups. Okay, moving on to Pentacles. This is the Ace. Look at that shoe. It's a huge shoe. I don't know if that's a regular size shoe and these are like tiny little people, I think what it is, they're working on a big shoe or something. Okay, the Two of Pentacles. And here's our Three of Pentacles. We have a pig there, a boar, wild boar, but he has an apron on. Here's the Four of Pentacles. Have a man here, and there's a dog. It's his dog. Okay. So Four of Pentacles. And this is the Five. Wow, we have a lady here in bed, and there's a small bear standing up upon her bed. It'd be a good strength card, I think. Okay, here we have the Six of Pentacles. Lisa Hunt has quite the imagination, but she's able to utilize it and exceed at her creativity. Seven of Pentacles. And here's the Eight. I don't know if these guys are like little elves or what, but a few very small people in this deck. Okay, the Nine of Pentacles. Like a wise old man there. I'm not sure what he's handing her, but he has something outreached in his hand. Here's the Ten of Pentacles. She's riding a polar bear, I think that is. Pretty neat. And here's the Princess of Pentacles. Here's the Prince of Pentacles. Again, here we have another small person. And I don't know if they're small people and that's normal size, or regular person that's a giant. I'm not sure which it is, but that's our, look at the bird down here. Wow. Okay, all right. Here's our Queen of Pentacles. And the King of Pentacles. Okay, moving on to swords, this is the Ace. A lot of little castles throughout this deck. That's our Ace. This is the Two of Swords. A lot of spiritual energy in this deck here. I can feel it. Okay, the Three of Swords. Okay. And here's the Four. The Four of Swords. Oh, there's a fawn or something behind her, a deer. I love it. The humans and spiritual entities and animals all get along in this deck, it appears. Here's the Five of Swords. And here's the Six. All those faces there in the background, that's kind of odd. And they're carrying, is that a coffin? I don't know. They're carrying something. I believe these are carved into the stone there, I think. I don't think they're alive, but I could be wrong. And here's the Seven of Swords. And the Eight. Snakes there. A couple of them I see. She's kind of freaked out about the snakes. And that lady, she has part of the snake in her mouth. Wow. One brave lady. Okay, next we go on to the Nine of Swords. And we go on to the 10. It's a chest midair. And the person is within that chest. Well, anything can happen in a supernatural deck. Okay, here we have the Princess of Swords. Rides upon a bird. That's pretty cool. Another rising sun there in the background, I think. And here's the Prince of Swords. And he's riding underneath a number of swans there. Here's the Queen of Swords. She appears spiritual. Queen of Swords. And wrapping it up is the King of Swords. And for the king, we have a bird. I don't know exactly what kind of bird that is. And he's carrying another chest. Flying through the air with another chest. A lot of flying chests in this deck here. But we have to expect that from Lisa Hunt. But anyways, I enjoyed this deck. If you think about getting it, I think it's a rewarding experience to own it. Anyways, I hope I've helped you out if you're thinking about getting it. I appreciate your support, and thanks again for watching.